Everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we are talking today to Kalin about why drop domains are still the thing. Is Google ever going to punish it? I mean, we hear every time Google is rolling something, is, oh, we're going to remove drop domains. And it never happens. If anything, they gain more power in the last spam update. So, hello, welcome to the podcast. I'm very happy you joined us.
Thanks for having me.
You are a super expert on drop domains and you understand the mechanics behind that. So, why do you think drop domains again gain so much popularity? Why is Google pushing them again after claiming each time, oh, they are bad, we're not going to do it? And yet they are everywhere in SERPs. There is not one geo that they are not visible. And if they are not visible, then they work as a backlinks and it still works. They still carry so much authority and so much power. What is your understanding? What is your view on this? Why Google loves drop domains?
Well, from Google's standpoint, they need to rank something. So it's more or less a choice between drop domains and Parasite in high competitive iGaming. 2023, when Google hit the other affiliates with the helpful content update, it replaced the affiliate websites with big media websites, with Reddit, with Quora, with Wikipedia, e-commerce, other big websites. But for iGaming, the searches are like this, that there will not be a BBC article about best bonus somewhere or withdrawing your money from this type of casino. So it's basically just a choice for Google about the less evil. They hate these niches because there are not a lot of ads, especially in the unregulated. So no ads are allowed. So for Google, it's a pain without them earning that much, and they want to somehow address the pain while committing the least possible resources. So not so much manual checks. It's a waste of money for Google to do any big manual reviews for niches where they don't earn a lot from ads. So in the end, it's the algorithm tries to just keep things, let's say, unbalanced, so that there is no single strategy that would basically rule over Google, because that's bad PR. And I think that they just switch. Sometimes drop domains will be more powerful, then parasites will be more powerful, but there are not a lot of options here, because there are not a lot of legit websites you can rank for iGaming queries. And in the end, it's just about the lesser evil for Google. And yeah, drop domains can be ugly, but sometimes parasites can be uglier, depending on the type of website and the type of query. And for Google, the important thing is to just keep everything dynamic and random. That's why there's so many updates, because Google don't want to be overwhelmed by a single company or a single strategy. And I think that drop domains will forever be strong because they bring the trust, and if they're not massive manual actions, in terms of the algorithm, the trust from the drop domain, when you combine it with the changing relevance and power from repurposing with WOG rollings or other very spammy but very effective techniques, and it just ranks.
Absolutely. I mean, I have nothing against parasite or drop domains. There goes so much strategy into it. And again, so much money because the good drop domains don't come for €5. Just like very good parasite placement doesn't come cheap. And people are just, I want to say this once again, and I already said it in my podcast, just because it's black hat SEO or gray hat, it does not have to be unethical. So let's talk about that. Many times, the parasite is well placed on a niche relevant website, at least let's stay with sports and then you promote sports betting. Where's the harm? If you are using kitty sites, mommy sites, it is cringe and it should not happen and that's unethical. But not all black hat or gray hat is necessarily evil. Okay, let's start with that. Because I hate how people just combine it all together like, oh, you dang black hat, it's evil. No, it's not. It's tactic that Google doesn't like. It is not illegal in any shape or form. You're not going to go to prison for buying a drop domain. Google claims not to like it, but in the end, as you said, because there is no revenue for them, they love it. It wouldn't work in every single geo, but it works in most geos. Now, Parasite, I talked about a lot. So I really want to go to the drop domains because They work in so many different forms. You can either use them to create backlinks from them. You can redirect them. It works like magic. You can as well revitalize them and start to rank them. So let's say you would buy a website that used to talk about, I don't know, shop something online that is very popular, got lots of links, then it was dropped. And then you do casino dot whatever, canonicalize, and it works like magic. But the problem here is two things. It's drop domain, so you don't get the full data. You don't know what was the traffic, if they get manual penalty. There's so much unknown. How do you evaluate if this drop domain is good? Because finding drop domain, it's not a miracle. You go to drop domains and there is drop thousands of them a day. Most of them are rubbish. So how do you know which one is good? This is something I always struggle with. Sometimes I strike gold. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell did I just buy? But how do you know it? Because I just go like by my gut feeling here. And my gut feeling usually isn't too good.
Yeah, well, it's mostly quality and quantity of the backlinks, but in recent times also it has been tested and confirmed that other trust signals such as knowledge panel, brand search, Wikipedia page, GMB, all of those help with the trust. And in countries like Scandinavia and others where there are not so many local domains and they're very, very, very expensive, people sometimes prefer to buy a domain with very few links, but let's say a GMB, than a domain with, let's say, 5 times the links, because 5 times the links will cost enormous money and would still be like 100 referring domains. So not a lot of actual trust and power. I think that all of the three main ways to use a drop domain, so using it directly for the money side, redirecting it, or using it as a PBN, they all have their uses for different types of domains. PBNs, creating a network of your own website to link yourself, is basically the easiest. This has never been hit by any Google update. Google cannot really spot what is a PBN and what is a normal small website. A PBN
If
links.
it's done good, if it's done
Yes,
good, if you
yes.
host everything together on the same IP as same Google Search Console, they're gonna find out. So
Oh,
just
yes,
because
of course.
you have got the internal knowledge, so it's not that easy. Again, there's goes lots of strategy to build a good PBN. So if you want to do a good PBN, there is a strategy. It's not just buying extra expired domains and like tada ranking. So
Oh,
I know
yes,
you
yes,
know, but
of
for you
course.
it's like breathing. It's natural, but not everybody understands it. So even good PBN comes with price and lots of work and lots of experience. So let's not underplay this. Let's not downplay this. Good PBN is difficult.
Well, it used to be difficult. I built my first PBN in 2008, so pretty long ago. But then it was difficult. And actually, in 2012 and 2013, I lost a lot of my PBN to the indexation penalties. But the reason was that back then it was super hard to hide your whois, especially in some country TLDs. The whois was visible, and you needed different names, different emails. But then when GDPR came, all of the whois became private, especially if the domain is owned by a private person. So when you do PBNs, just keep your domains in the name of private people, not a company, because then the whois is extremely private. While with a company, sometimes it shows something that can turn into a fingerprint. For Google, whois is the easiest fingerprint because they have an API to domain tools for reverse searches, so it's extremely easy to find them. 2012, 2013, when I got penalized by whois. So IP is a bit trickier for Google because if you use shared hosting, then there's thousands of other websites in this IP, harder to single out the PBN. But now Cloudflare is so widely used that you can just do everything with Cloudflare. We use Cloudflare plus shared hosting or Cloudflare plus our own servers, and different Cloudflare accounts, free ones, give you different name servers. So basically what Google sees is a different name server and then just very widely used IPs from Cloudflare Anycast. So it's very easy now to hide the IP and the whois. But the actual biggest bottleneck for PBNs before was content. Especially if you want to do something in a weird language like Scandinavian language, copywriters would be just extremely expensive. So you would pay like €200 for content for your PBN, while now with AI, obviously you just use AI content and it's free. Also, building the website is now easier with AI and with better PBN management platforms. We have now one of the best PBN management platforms in the world. I think it manages around PBN, which is like 30,000 websites. It can manage both WordPress and Archivarics, which are restored from the archive. Google loves those; they're very natural. Unfortunately, not every website has a good enough copy in the archive, and of course, you should be aware that you are breaking some copyright laws and need to basically weigh the consequences of that. But restored websites on PBN, Google absolutely loves. And PBNs should be in the golden age. The reason they are not is just some fashion trend. So because PBNs were on a downscale since the big penalties that happened 10 plus years ago, and they are out of fashion. Then it's all of these link marketplaces. You can now easily buy links, buy guest posts. So PBNs went out of fashion. But PBNs are great because once you have a PBN, you have the asset. If the domain costs, let's say 1,000 for the PBN, and you build a website and you place links, it's already like a 2,000 worth asset because you can place links to your money site, you can exchange links, and you can even sell links. Doesn't matter if it's not your direct competitors, you can sell links and get some money back to fuel more PBNs and more of your SEO strategy. So I think PBNs are great and have always been great. 301 redirects are, I think, past their golden age, but still decent. There are different approaches. We do a specific approach where it's homepage to homepage with a canonical first and then the redirect, and all of the other pages we let crash into 404s. So it looks like just some lame website owner redirected their domain. It doesn't look like SEO work. SEOs like to polish everything and redirect every page that has links. We don't do this. Of course, a domain that has a majority of the links to the homepage is preferred, so you don't waste value. And the repurposing is the biggest hit and miss because you're trying to rank in something extremely competitive with a domain that's supposed to have trust, but then everyone else is doing the same in huge volumes, so not everything will rank naturally. And it's the repurposing is like a big mix of having a good domain that Google likes and has trust, and then having a lot of low quality links but with the right anchors, and then also doing all of the viral traffic and CTR manipulation stuff so that it all comes together and maybe ranks. But this may bring you 1 million a month. So it's kind of worth the try, but you need big capital to enter this game.
Anything could be hit and miss in SEO. Even if you start from scratch, beautiful website, you might invest years in it and it works, or you might invest years in it and then Google update happens and they don't like something, or it never takes off. Like in SEO, we never know. We can do the best work we can really try. It might not work. Every parasite does not work.
Yes.
It is always hit and miss. So I don't think people should be afraid of it. When we're talking about the 301 redirects, I had a test last year because I wanted to really know if they still work after all Google claiming that it doesn't work. So I bought expired domains and redirect other expired domains to it. As you said, just homepage to homepage canonical. Some of them I even left as no follow. It increased the DR massively and it started to rank. And I didn't want to rank really, but I just wanted to see if it's going to. It was a AI in German for a German market. I didn't have any Go links or anything. I just really wanted, and it started to rank, and it altogether cost me, I don't know, 200 euro the test. Like it was really cheap domains. And then some of them I wanted to compare, like if it's redirected, what it gives the value, and the very similar quality of the domain. If I restore it and do a link from it, like if there is a difference in what it passes. And it was wonderful how it just fast started to rank. I closed it down because I had enough data. But I wouldn't be scared of trying all of this. Yes, if you are super wide head SEO in a beautiful niche, you don't need it. But iGaming is not an easy niche. It is competitive.
Yes.
If you are not doing competitive tactics, especially in the markets where it's impossible to get a good link, where it's just Google does not care if you are doing manipulation. If Google doesn't care if it's the drop domain, why wouldn't you at least try?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you should do what the leaders behind.
Absolutely. And the thing is, they have got very clever SEOs. They do. And they always build a strategy. It's not, and a lot of people don't understand this. It's not, I do parasite and there is no strategy behind it, is not going to work. You need to have a good domain, good placement, good, usually like redirect a huge PBN right away, scale the content and do all the manipulation as you mentioned, like traffic manipulation.
Yes.
It's not cheap, it's not easy, and it still might not work. It still might be like nothing. But usually it works. And if you it has a strategy. People just don't think that Parasite is a strategy, and that really drives me mad. Anyways, which niches would you say that drop domains would never work on? Because I worked in iGaming and previously adult, and it worked on both. I had a PBN and adult. Absolutely horrible. If I look at it now, I'm like, how could that ever help? But because nobody is selling links to adult, or at least back then wasn't, it worked like magic. And I was able to sell links on those things. And they were super interlinked. It was like mega fingerprint, and Google did not care.
Yeah.
Really,
For
seriously did
for
not care.
adults,
Then then
they
I
don't
sold
care.
it
Yeah.
and got to iGaming. But I was really surprised, like, and as well, the links I used to do, it was like all these top lists, and it was horrible. Right now, that would get you penalized like in a minute. But I don't think it did penalize anything in adult. When I look at the site, it still works like it was. There's still
Yes. Yes.
all of this. So adult is even sort of SEO nastier than us. So I think it will still work there. In certain geos, of course, it works for iGaming, not all, as we said. But is there a niche that you absolutely think it would never work for, or it's not necessary at all?
So if your niche is like I say fun niche, something let's say like games or movies or music or whatever, things that people do for fun, you would have much more natural links, and you'll be competing against people doing it for money and people doing it for fun. So these are generally not the best niches to be in. They're quite hard in terms of effort versus monetization. I think that the more natural links there are, the harder it will be, like just costs, comparative as cost, to rank with unnatural links. But in the niches where there are mostly unnatural links, which is not just iGaming and adults, these are, let's say, services about the home. So if you have a cleaning or waste removal company, you should not expect a lot of natural links to your company. It's again, we're reverting to the gray and black hat strategies and link buying and all of that. So I think that if you have a lot of natural links, maybe you could try some white hat approach. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But if you're not, then you're just bound to do just gray and black hat, because it will be super hard to do something natural in iGaming. Like, however creative you are, no one would like to link to your casino in the end of the day.
Let's be honest, if somebody is starting to link to you and there is a huge PR, you probably did something that you caught the wrong attention.
Yeah, often happens.
So
Yes.
you don't want this PR. It works like magic. You don't want these links. And as well, I think PR in our industry, if it happens, let's say it could happen for like NFT website, because there was a time when NFT was like, wow. But you're getting so many links with so many anchors that are actually harming you, because it's not what you want to be optimized for. It's not linking the main pages. So in the end, you can be disappearing from SERPs for the main pages and the things you want to be in online casino, and you're ranking for NFTs that you cannot convert on. So I think we need to control the narrative. We need to control the anchors. We need to control the outcome. And PRs many times cannot control that. And they are more expensive than PBNs or buying links. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's a boutique service, and I think that there are ways to control the narrative, but again, they're going to be black hat. So if you get an explosion of good links, you need also an explosion of low quality links, but with the right anchor, so you can take back your narrative about what this website is about. I think that Google's like relevance algorithm are pretty primitive in their core. So if you just put a lot of links with the right anchors, there were two fierce competitors in Bulgarian iGaming, and one of them placed a lot of links to the other with the anchor socks, trying to change the relevance of the website from iGaming to basically fashion. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
still,
see this over and over. We see the UGC attacks when a real idea behind them is to change how we are seen around the web. So we're trying to optimize for casino bonuses. Suddenly you are seen as a teaspoon because they send you 3 million links with teaspoon, and Google is like, okay. And its UGC is no follow, it's not relevant. So exactly, this is exactly it. This is my point. This is my point there. I love that you said it. Yes, so it's about the quantity still in many ways. It still is.
Yes. That's just how Google
And
is built. Or the PageRank algorithm, it's all about the quantity and the flows of value. And something that people often misunderstand is that they think that if a link doesn't come from a website with traffic, that it's useless. But it just doesn't work like this, because Google has two separate algorithms, one about the page rank and one about the ranking, and they merge at the end. So Google is distributing the page rank and the power from a link. And then if it's from a website that also has traffic and it's relevant and so on, you get an additional bonus, but you have already gotten the page rank. So the link has already helped in its core, and then you may or may not get a bonus. And since a link from a website without traffic, let's say a high quality PBN, will be much cheaper, in the end, when you do the cost benefit analysis, it may turn out that it's better to buy some cheap, good quality homepage links like the ones we offer than just buy endless expensive guest posts, which will bring some trust but not a lot of link power.
fantastic. This wraps it up. You said it all. You said it all. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add to it? Because you shared so much information. I think anyone listening to this will be like, wow, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I need to make a note of that. Is there any other last clever wisdom from you, Jedi of PBNs, that you would like to share with us?
I think that people just misunderstand the staying power of powerful domains and PBNs. And even if domains are now pretty expensive, I know that puts a lot of people off, because in the competitive iGaming markets, if you want to buy a Swedish domains now, you just don't know what the prices are. It's just insane. But still, they will only go up because the domain are scarce amount. Like SEO domains may catch 30% of the Swedish domains, but anything else just never even hits the market. It gets immediately used somewhere in an iGaming strategy. Basically, we're the only one who sells something. It's scarce, it's expensive, but once you take it, it's not that your money go in a hole. You still own the domain. It even appreciates in value. And when you put a website and when you start using it, you don't lose the value you already invested. You still hold the value and you get the benefit. And the benefit may be 3-5 years into the future, which is enormous benefit of having a strong local link where all of the link opportunities are already extremely exhausted in this competitive market. So I think that even though domains are expensive in SEO domains and auctions and everywhere, it's still the best way, because this is the only way where you pay for an asset that you still own and it brings ongoing value. So the long-term value, I think, is great.
So if anyone, me or anyone listening, wants to buy a good expired domain, can they contact you? Can they be like, please help me?
Yes,
Can I link to you in my description? So, because I love to make this podcast helpful. And if somebody is looking for this, I don't want it to be like, I want to try it, but.
Yes.
And you don't know where to start. So please contact him, because I'm telling you, he's the Jedi of drop domains and PBNs. Okay. Like, we got the top of the top. So
yes,
I will link everything in the description.
Of course, you can contact me everywhere. You can ask me which domains are suitable for you. And SEO.domains is like a shop. You see what you buy, so you can directly buy. But if you need any advice, you can contact me or the team.
Fantastic. Link will be in our description. I'm so happy you were with us. This is like gold for anyone. And let's be honest, nowadays in the markets we have out there, everybody wants to try something that is fast, because even the best assets are disappearing.
Oh, yes. And powerful.
Exactly. So if you want to grow faster, if you want to know more about drop domains, absolutely go to Kalin. He is, and I'm just going to keep calling you Jedi. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all of this wonderful information.
Thank you too.
If you got value from this video and want direct access to us, weekly calls, training, and the latest SEO updates, and a community of people operating at this level, click the link in the description to join the boardroom. We'll see you inside.